There are three most important things which I consider you need to do in order to be fully ready for a Scrum job. Most often, a lot of people are not prepared by the time they get an opportunity. And you will agree with me that a missed opportunity sometimes can take about a year to circle back. So, what can you do today in order to fully prepare yourself when that opportunity is right? Today, I'm going to talk about three main things every aspiring Scrum Master need to do. If you have already done this, good, you're on the right track. But if not, then I urge you, after listening to this video, you want to put down these things and start working on them as soon as possible. Now, what are the three main things I want to discuss today? The first thing is about the career shift. A lot of people miss out the fact that they are navigating from one field to another, and this requires different skill set. This requires different way of communication. This requires different way of thinking, and this even requires different way of talking. So because they are not prepared for that shift, when they get an opportunity, they are not able to execute it. I'm going to go more detail into that. Now, the second thing I want to talk about today, it's about the theoretical preparation or the theoretical readiness. Many people don't know what they need to do, what they need to study, how they need to study before they can understand or they can evaluate themselves that they are fully ready for a Scrum job. I'm also going to talk about that, how to get ready. Now, the third thing, which to me is the most important, is how to be practically ready, which I'm going to talk about that. So you want to make sure that you stay to the end of this video so that you catch the last part. Some of the first part, which is the career shift, a lot of people master it. The theoretical shift, a lot of people master it. But the third part, which is the practical shift, a lot of people are still missing a lot on that. All right, so welcome to the Scrum ChatRoom with Dr. Francis Mbunya. If you're new here, hit the subscribe button because we are dedicated to provide you with a reality you need. Now, I'm not here to motivate you. I'm not here to tell you, oh, you can do it, you can do it. You can only do it if you do the needful. And we are here to help you walk through the needful. All right. And for those who want to be Safe Scrum Master certified, our next Safe Scrum Master lesson is coming up on the 20th of January. I'm going to put a flyer up soon. And for those who want to get ready by implementing what I teach, you can reach out to me for coaching. All right. Now, let's start with the first one. What do I mean by understanding the career shift? You need to understand that, let's say that you were in the business analyst, right? And you want to shift a career to Scrum. Now, a lot of people are doing Scrum because they see their friends doing Scrum. A lot of people are doing Scrum because they had someone talking about Scrum. A lot of people are doing Scrum because they know that Scrum pay good. But very few people have taken out the time to carry out the research on what does it take to be a Scrum Master. Right. Now, for those who got into Scrum, let's say 3-4 years back, it's completely a different ball game compared to now. Right. Now, you need to first of all do your research. What does it take? And you are doing a career shift. Just imagine you're studying something like nursing in school, then they want to navigate you from nursing to management, right? You're taking a bachelor in nursing, and out of a sudden, you need to do a shift from nursing to management. The first thing is that you're not going to find that funny, and you need to mentally prepare yourself because these are different fee requiring different language. Unless you are mentally prepared, the first thing you'll not be able to handle that. So the first thing is this, a career shift is just like shifting from one career to Scrum is just like what I explained. So if you're not psychologically prepared, you're not mentally prepared, you don't know what it takes, you're going to miss it. So it requires, first of all, mental readiness. It requires commitment. It requires time readiness. It requires finance readiness. It requires investing in yourself by buying books. Not only a lot of people focus on watch a lot of YouTube video and they get more confused. Sometimes you need to go as far as buying books which you can read them and really grab the concept. So if you're not really investing in the career shift, mentally, physically, financially, it's going to cost you money. Many people, what they do is, I study the Scrum Guide, I do some self-study, I prepare myself a resume, and then I'm ready for the market. Sorry. Even if you go through the interview, trust me, when you get into the job market, you will not know what to do. Now, I had a conversation, and someone said, "Okay, look, um, I have self-study. I've done all the needful. Now I have a job and they need me to come on site, but I don't know what to do. Like I have no idea about the practical. I know the theory, I can answer all the questions, but how am I going to survive my first day on site?" Which is the third aspect I'm going to talk about today, the practical shift. Now, let's move to the second aspect for today, which is the theoretical shift. How should you prepare for your next interview? Very, very important. Now, this is my recommendation. I'm going to keep this video short so that you grab everything that you need to grab. My first recommendation is that you need to go through the Scrum Guide. So the Scrum Guide gives you now the baseline of what it takes to work at a team level. That is PSM and CSM. That's the Scrum Guide. Now, for those who want to be competitive, you need to go ahead and get yourself SAFe certified. Now, SAFe is not a different part of Scrum or is not another language or completely, no. SAFe is an advancement. It's just like you can have a diploma and you want to go ahead and have a degree in that same line. So SAFe builds from what you learn at the PSM or CSM level and go ahead to teach you how to collaborate in a bigger environment called an enterprise environment. It teaches you how to support program level planning. And that is why whenever you are in an environment where they say that we're using SAFe, one of the questions you will likely not miss is that, tell me about your engagement in PI planning. Tell me about your engagement in program increment planning. Why? Because in SAFe environment, you have multiple teams collaborating in an art to deliver a single project. So there's a lot of collaboration, there's a lot of dependency, and also there is a lot of program level engagement in the entire process. So you need to be able to understand that. Now, if you're not SAFe certified, definitely that is not a requirement to get a Scrum job, but it's an advantage. So if you're not SAFe certified, focus on the Scrum Guide. Now commit in communication skills. A lot of people, they master the theory, but when they get out to talk, when we're having a conversation in an interview, that gap is missing. You see that, oh, they understand what they want to say, but they're unable to communicate it in a way that someone can appreciate it. Now, you see yourself going through level 1, level 2, level 3 all the time, and then you are missing out. You've been dropped out. Why? It's because you lack communication skills, which are different aspects you need to learn. And all of this, you need to learn them in practice. You can learn them on your own. Sometimes you need to talk to someone and they say, oh, you know what? You need to change the way you communicate. You need to build your confidence, all of that. These are different things which it takes just some of these keys to get a job. It sometimes it's not about you answering questions. No. In my community, what I do is that apart from just teaching Scrum, we do leadership training. We train people how to talk, how to compose yourself, right? What to study, what not to study, how to think is even important. What to say if you're in a communication. All of these are important. Your gesture. You cannot just go in an interview and all the time the way you're sitting, it doesn't even move anyone. Remember, as a Scrum Master, your goal is to be able to do what? You're facilitating, which means you need to be a mediator that can open up space and get people to move. But if I'm interviewing you and I don't see any of those quality, it doesn't matter how good you're gonna answer those questions. It's like, okay, they're gonna prefer someone with better quality compared to you, despite the fact that you were so good in what you were saying. Beyond being good in answering questions, they are also looking for someone with a lot of, they call them, with a lot of likability skills. All right. Now, another aspect which is very important in the theoretical aspect. So in the theoretical aspect, you need to do the theory, Scrum guide for those who are PSM and CSM, know all of that. But then, which is the third part I'm going to talk about, the practice. The Scrum guide is not implemented like a lot of people say you're not an agile police, like the way it is written. Now, some people argue, oh, according to the Scrum guide, I read XXX, and this is what you're saying. Yes, practice is different from theory because practice needs to fit with the culture, it needs to fit with the project. So, Scrum is just a compass, and the way it's implemented in practice is a whole lot different compared to what you might be perceiving. All right. So, in the theoretical aspect, you need to master the Scrum guide, you need to master program increment planning if you're in a safe environment, and then you need to master communication skills. Get book on communication and read. Take, I think, go take some public speaking classes. Toastmasters, if you've never heard of Toastmasters, they're all around if you're in the United States, I think in the UK, and also in India if you're in India. They give classes for free. Just go stand in front of people and talk. And that gives you a lot of personal development that when you're communicating, people can see this in you. Now, the ability to talk to you is not just to get up and talk. No, not everyone can do video. It takes you to develop yourself mentally. It takes you to develop yourself physically. It takes you to develop yourself how to communicate, to be able to present something in a way that someone can see it. Now, what's the difference in the way I present compared to the way other people present? It's about how I build myself. It's not about how well I know how to talk, how I build myself, how I'm able to communicate the message to you in a way that you can understand it. So all of this is part of the theoretical aspect. Now let's move to the last part, which is the practical aspect. Now the practical shift is by far the most important and unfortunately the most neglected. A lot of people don't see a reason why they should invest money in being in a practical environment. And it's a very big pity because you are just pulling yourself to a point where when you get an opportunity, then you lose it. Of what use will it be for you to invest 6 months study back to back, and then when you finally get the opportunity and you get to work the first day, they're expecting you to deliver and you lose it. Now I had someone. Uh, he went. He had the opportunity, and he was supposed to work on site, and he successfully went through his first week. And then by the end of the first week, the manager gave him an assignment to do, which was as simple on how to run the capacity for the next sprint and make sure that we have it by Monday so that then the person actually went back home, contacted a couple of people like, oh, I need help with this. I said, okay, it's going to cost you this to get this help. And he was not willing to invest. And by Monday, he has not done it. And the manager came and stood behind him in the office like, okay, do you want to do this? I just email you the capacity sheet now. Do you want to input this? Like, okay, I just wanted to do this because I want to take it to leadership now. He could not do it, and he was expecting just to put in a couple of numbers in less than 5-10 minutes and you're done, and he could not do it, and he got a sack letter right there. Okay, now you've been at a point where you are already documented to gain a six-figure income. Now, because you are not willing to invest $2,000, because you're not willing to invest 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, whatever it is that you want to invest, now you stand at a point where everything. And it's the same thing for a lot of people, they procrastinate. Okay, when I get to this level, I'm going to see if I need this. When I get to this level, I'm going to see if I need it. And that's why, this is one of the reasons why I hardly take calls from people, because they are going to waste your time 10 minutes, 15 minutes on the call, asking you questions that doesn't make sense, which I think most of the videos I do a lot of justice to educate you on what you need. Now, someone is going to call you, spend 10 minutes asking you question that doesn't make sense, question that they should do their research before you even go out there to start asking. And at the end of the day, it's like, okay, I gather all the information, I'll get back to you. Now, they get back to you, oh, I have a job tomorrow, I don't know what to do. How can I help you? I cannot help you. It's a process of preparation that takes you not just 1 day, not 2 days, not 3 days, at least a month to engage in it, to be in a practical environment, to learn what to do. Invest the time to ask your question. This is a practical aspect that is missing on an average person out there on a Scrum job. They're not willing to invest in themselves. They prefer to invest maybe 2,000 organizing a birthday party compared to investing in themselves. That's not going to help you. Now, there are certain things you need to do to separate yourself from a lot of people. You need to learn how to talk. A lot of people, the only opportunity they talk is when they're on an interview. They've never had an opportunity for someone to sit down, interview them, and they see how they do. So when they get on an interview, they blank. They think they know it. Now, no matter how you study, you don't know it unless you start speaking it. Now, you need to learn how to facilitate events. Put yourself in a position where you can facilitate. Very important. You need to learn how to facilitate communication, not just event. If people are talking, can you come in and facilitate a communication to make sure that there is collaboration in the process? What to say and what not to say, very important. Sometimes you just need to take away some of those words in your vocabulary and you're good. But do you have someone that can help you push through this? Now, these are all the things you need in order to secure a Scrum job. If you're not doing all of this, you're missing. We have a community of practice that can help you, but then it's only for those who have made up their mind to be serious. It's not for those who are looking for someone to call when they have a problem, someone to call when they have a question. That doesn't help you. One thing for people that are in my community, I said, okay, maybe there is what you need, and what you need might not be the right thing. So when you come, we put you in a process that help you to be that person that when you get into the field, you're independent, you know exactly what to do. You're not afraid of failure. Unless you get to that point, it's gonna be a bit challenging for you, especially now that we have a lot of competition. You don't want to miss an opportunity. You don't want to miss an opportunity. It's harder to get an interview now compared to the last 3 months, the last 4 months. The more we zoom in, the more it also become harder because competition. So are you ready? You need to prepare yourself. All right, that was it. Our next video is gonna come up on Monday. So we have Mondays, Thursdays, we're gonna put a video. And on Saturday, I'm gonna be live so that we can have a conversation. Do have a great week, and I will see you in the next video.